you know it's what I always wanted. Could never have too many things. Well, you quit kicking me under the table. I'm trying, will somebody make us shut up about it? Can we settle down, please?
Shalom, this is your Ark. Yah is magnified, coming back with another informative video. I titled this video, Stay on Topic. But before I tackle this subject, as always, I must state for the record, I'm not a lawyer, I do not practice law, and I do not pretend to. All of my videos are for informational and educational purposes only. They're all facts and all truth, nothing more, nothing less. So with that being said, let's get to it. Okay, so now, as you all know, I did a video probably like 2 or 3 videos ago about summons. If you all haven't seen that video, go back and check it out. It's another powerful video, to give you understanding of what to do whenever you receive a summons. Okay? We all know what a summons is. But for those who do not know what a summons is an offer to contract. That's it, that's all. It's an offer to appear. That's it, that's all. They cannot force you to appear. Okay? But they send you an offer, which is called a summons, for you to appear to address controversy before the court. Okay? That's all the summons is for. Like any other contract, you must respond back to it. Okay? If you don't respond back to it, then you become a dishonor. So, as I stated, they cannot force you to appear. So if you do not appear, they'll put a default judgment against you, or they will put a bench warrant out for your arrest. Either one. Why? Because you are now coming into dishonor. But in order to stay in honor, you can even accept the offer and just show up and appear, or you can accept the offer with conditions before you show up and appear. Okay? So, the first thing I challenge when I get a summons will be jurisdiction. Just like the first thing they challenge when you summons them to appear. I went over so many federal lawsuits and they all state the same thing. The court lacks jurisdiction. Wow, that's the first thing they challenge. Jurisdiction. When they bring you to court, that should be the first thing you challenge. That should be your response to the summons. Okay? I cannot stress that enough. That's the first thing you should be doing. But now, let's pick up to find out what exactly jurisdiction is and why I say that's the first thing you should challenge when they summons you to appear. Let's stroll up. Well, first we're coming from Rhode Island versus Massachusetts, right? When you all get time, read this case law, get some more understanding. Let's pick it up where it says jurisdiction. Hold on, stroll down. Let's pick it up where it says jurisdiction. Okay? Jurisdiction. And you all can see it says it's the power to hear and determine the subject matter in controversy between parties to a suit. Okay? So this clearly states that in order for a court to have jurisdiction, there must be controversy before it. If there is no controversy before the court, then the court doesn't have jurisdiction to hear any of the matter brought before it. Why? Because there must be controversy between two parties in the suit. Okay? But let's continue. It states, to adjudicate or exercise any judicial powers over them. So now, let's go back over it again. It says jurisdiction. It's the power to hear and determine the subject matter and what? Controversy between parties to a suit. To adjudicate or exercise any judicial power over them. So in order for them to exercise any power over you, it must be controversy and the court must have jurisdiction over you. But in order for them to have jurisdiction from the beginning, there must be controversy brought before the court. Okay? But let's continue. It says an objection to jurisdiction on the ground of exemption from the process of the court in which the suit is brought, or the manner in which a defendant is brought into it, is waived by appearance and pleading to the issues. Okay? So now, that's why I state the first thing you do is Don't make no pleadings. Don't even write on pleading paper. Don't do none of that. First thing you would do is file your response into the court with the summons. So you're basically responding back to the summons. You can challenge whatever you guys like to challenge. Just make sure you stick on topic and make sure you're challenging things the right way. I cannot tell you all how to challenge, or how to move forward. I can only help those who actually making, giving me gifts and stuff to help them with their situation. Okay? Or for helping them with their situation. But again, whenever you're moving forward, you must object to the jurisdiction before entering into the court. So you will file your response to the summons into the court, get a time and date stamp. Also, place your evidence into the court. Okay? You will stand on your evidence. So when you come into the court and you tell the judge that there is no controversy before this court, you would like to have this case dismissed. For them try not to proceed forward or try to get you to argue certain facts, stick to the topic. If the judge try to change it, say, okay, well, I'd like to put my evidence before the court. Put your evidence before the court that there is no controversy before it. Once they see the evidence, now the opposing party have to bring more evidence to the contrary to your evidence, which they will not have. And because they do not have that evidence before the court, that further proves that there's no controversy. Okay? So remove controversy, you remove jurisdiction. Remove jurisdiction. The case must be what? Dismissed. Okay? That's how we're going to keep it moving. But while you're in these courts, you must stay on the topic. You must stand on your facts. Do not let them wiggle out. Do not let them get you to believe that you must argue another topic even though they change. So say you're arguing that there is no controversy. First thing they go back and say, well, you signed this or signed that. Okay, that was then. But now, we're before the court. There is no controversy before this court. And because there is no controversy before this court, the plaintiff no longer has a recourse to a court of law. Just like that. Plain and simple, simple and plain. Okay? But you must have your paperwork and ducks in a row. Excuse me, guys. But you must have your paperwork and ducks in a row before you can state that in the court. Okay? Because if you do that, then they will proceed forward and probably try to hold you in contempt of court and everything else, or force you to be the debtor to pay the debt. Okay? So again, if you're arguing the name, you can stand on that. Okay? By stating, hey, you're not the name. Okay? You'll have documentation into the court to prove that you're not. I like to enter my evidence into the court. Okay? You file all evidence into the court. Okay? Then you can stand up and say, is there any evidence to the contrary? Nobody puts up any evidence to the contrary. Okay, I demand this case to be dismissed because there's no evidence to the contrary. But let's say if they try to move forward on you anyways. Okay, cool. We'll get them an appeal. Why? Because you have all the evidence before the court. If they can't rebut your information before you come into the court, they're not going to be able to rebut your information in the court, and they're not going to be able to rebut your information when you file your appeal. Silence equates to fraud. Okay? Remember, if they're sending you something in the mail, then you respond back to it. The other party now has a duty to speak. If they refuse to speak, then their silence equates to fraud. Okay? They have tacit acquiesced, meaning that there is no controversy before the court. Okay? So that's all I'm going to do for today. Dropping gems, dropping jewels for my brothers out there fighting. Keep y'all heads up. It's just the beginning, man. We're going to move. We're going to move forward. If anybody have a court date coming up, but not like real close, but if you have like a court date coming up where we can spare some time to get these documents out, then hit me up. Okay? We set things in its proper perspective. For all my brothers out there fighting, continue to fight. Don't quit. Don't give up. Okay? We all learning every day. Each day, every day. Okay? Never stop learning. The more we learn, the better we are. So again, always challenge jurisdiction. Okay? And and keep the controversy out of the court. So with that being said, you all be blessed again. If you need my help, hit me up at my email at yahismagnified@gmail.com. So again, shalom.